So after the 8th minute of Babe Ruth talk,
Yeah.
I am concerned that you maybe watched the wrong movie.
I heard that as well. You
Yeah,
said the whole movie.
Babe.
The one with John Goodman?
So this is 1988's Bull Durham versus 1995 animal comedy Babe.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
Tomato Fights, The Return, highest matchup we have done, which is the craziest shit I've ever thought about in my life.
Really?
It just dawned on me as I was saying it.
What's the number?
97. It's a battle of 97s.
That cannot be true.
Talking about Bull Durham, 1988, versus Babe. To discuss it, because this is a couple of baseball movies, we got the face of baseball, Jared Carrabis. Jared, what's up, pal?
I hate baseball movies.
Yo, Bull Durham, I learned, is the highest rated sports movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
That is crazy. If I had to guess, the highest rated baseball movie would have been Moneyball. Do you consider Moneyball an exception?
So I love Moneyball, but I feel like baseball fans shit on it because it's so fiction.
Why?
They tell the story of the 2002 Oakland A's, and they don't even mention Zito, Mulder, Hudson.
They say I hear you.
They don't. And Miguel Tejada won the MVP that year, and he's a character that they don't even acknowledge by name. They're like, Scott Hatterberg is the reason why they won 20 straight
It
games.
is true. They really do They
Hollywood
glamorize the the lower rung players.
Yeah.
But that was Moneyball, though, and that was like the whole Billy Bean mystique thing of like Billy Bean knew that Miguel Tejada wasn't that good. He swings at bad pitches, and it's like, cool, he fucking mashes, dude.
Yeah, he won the MVP that year. And I'm pretty sure that was the year that Barry Zito won the Cy Young, even though he shouldn't have. That was
The Derek
Pedro?
Lowe year. Pedro should have
Pedro should have won. Yeah,
Yeah.
Pedro should have won. Barry Zito won it. Obviously, if he won it, he still had a great year. But yeah, watching that movie, I'm not one of those.
Great movie though.
Yeah, you have to be a real baseball hardo to watch Moneyball and not enjoy it.
I mean, the most distracting thing, obviously, is that Paul D. Podesta. By the way, this is such a brunch episode.
Yeah.
Absolutely not going to talk about either of the two movies we were going to talk about. That it's like so much of Moneyball is about Paul D. Podesta, and they didn't get the rights to Paul D. Podesta, so they had to do the thing the video games used to do with
the composite character.
Composite character. They used to do. There was just like a big fat guy that played for the Giants in the MLB games.
John Dowd.
John Dowd, correct.
That was Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
If memory serves, was John Dowd like a big Caucasian man?
No.
Yeah, he was white in the game. He was white.
John
in the
Dowd
game.
was white.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who? It was like Anthony Freeze was
yes.
black, and that was Kevin Millar.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
John Dowd was a big white guy, and I believe that John Dowd was a reference to somebody who, like, I don't know, was like a lawyer. Is somebody that was like important in baseball history, but they
Interesting.
But they just
Paul
like
D. Podesta.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, dude, I fuck with Moneyball. You know what Moneyball could have used though?
Sex.
Kevin
Guns.
Costner. Oh, okay.
Guns.
Guns. You ever seen Moneyball with guns? If anyone's watching, we have such a weird setup right now, so we can only look at each other in.
Are we live? Are
the
we streaming?
monitor.
We're not live. No.
I was gonna
Yeah, we're
say.
getting hella subs, dude.
You ever heard of a podcast?
Well, I mean, he said if anyone's watching, and I was like, all right.
Well,
I
we
mean,
do video.
We've made $4,000 just like this, just from this Moneyball conversation, killing it in the subs department. But fuck, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, have you seen Moneyball with guns, Jared?
Is that a real thing?
Yeah,
Is it really?
it's just pictures of Moneyball with guns photoshopped into it.
Oh, I would get down with that.
Yeah,
DJ made it.
I made it.
You made it?
It was awesome.
Can I see it?
Solely for texting to Pete, and then forgot to tweet, and then
I would love to see it.
Yeah, just look it up.
Moneyball.
Let me ask while you do that, what was your exposure to both of these movies heading into the exercise? Oh, here's Moneyball.
Oh.
It's pretty great, right? It's fucking tap in the face.
Oh.
It's an incredible exercise.
I do like that.
Took me like 8 hours or
I'm
something.
very excited for the follow-up.
Don't even know how to use. Yeah, what was the? Did we come up with one?
You picked a movie that already had guns in it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Exposure to these movies, Bull Durham and Babe, before watching for the podcast.
So I had seen Bull Durham a bunch.
Okay.
I had never seen the Babe. I hate Babe Ruth. Like, I've had this rivalry with Babe Ruth for a long time. It's escalated over the years, which is odd because
I was gonna say you've won.
He's dead for
Yeah.
sure. For sure, he's been dead the entire time that the beef has been going on. But the beef has escalated over the years, and I'm not gonna name names, but there have been people that have been piggybacking off of my shtick for sure in the last year or so. Me hating Babe Ruth and me being a Babe Ruth truther. First of all, I said he was a fictional character. I said he was like the Hulk Hogan of Major League Baseball, where they just propped him up and they were like, this is the guy that's better than everyone else. He's this mythical being, and he's better than whole teams combined. And for whatever reason, there's just no video of him like playing baseball. It's always like batting practice. Everyone's like, well, it was like the 1900s, so like they didn't have cameras. Like, no, they had cameras because we have videos of him like teaching little kids how to play baseball. We have videos of him taking batting practice. Why don't we have game footage of Babe Ruth? It's because he wasn't real. Anyways, he also murdered his wife.
Allegedly.
He murdered his wife.
Allegedly.
And also the movie.
Also, I think it would have been manslaughter. He lit the house on fire.
With intent to kill.
Yeah.
Do you not know the backstory?
I know that he lit his house on fire and his wife died in it, and then he got married like 3 months later.
So here's what happened. He wanted a divorce from his wife, Helen, and he went to go see her, and he said, will you grant me a divorce? And she said, if you pay me $125,000, yes.
And that's like
and he
one Bitcoin now.
It was like whatever. It's like $2 million now. And he stormed out of the room in anger. And 3 weeks later, her house burned to the ground. She's dead. And it was this past season because I think the Red Sox were in Baltimore, which is where the Babe Ruth Museum is. It was like the house that he grew up in is now the Babe Ruth Museum. And Joe Castiglione just casually dropped that in. Like, I had never heard that before. There was nothing on the internet about it. Nothing. I had never heard it. There was no other past research. Nothing. So Joe Castiglione is just like, yeah, the Red Sox are in Baltimore, and that's where the Babe Ruth Museum is. And when Babe Ruth was 19, married his girlfriend who was 16, Helen, and her house burned down and she died. Anyways, 3-2. and I stopped dead in my tracks. I was like, he killed her. And I called Coley. I pulled over to the side of the road. I called Coley, and I was like, did you know this? And he was like, nope. And Coley, I mean, he loves like conspiracy theories and all that. So he pulls over to the side of the road, or I pulled over to the side of the road, and I'm on the.
Both are on the side of the highway Googling this story.
I pulled over to the side of the road, called him, and he's Googling it and researching it, and just all this information about the house fire is there. And I was like, how has no one else put two and two together that he murdered his wife? And a week later, some other podcast was like, yeah, so like, did you hear about this? Babe Ruth and killed his wife, and didn't give us a shout out. And then like there was some other person that covers baseball that like very recently was like,
I know, that's who I saw it from, so I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. But I mean, like that was us.
Shit like that happens though. Like the Cosby stuff was all just like there and dormant.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Hannibal Buress is like, you guys hear this?
Right. And then like he was like giving young comics some grief, and they were like, fuck you, man, you did all this. And everyone was like, wait, he did what? And
well, Babe Ruth famously wasn't doing that because that man has been dead for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't know any of that, first of all, and I also didn't know that you had this rivalry with Babe Ruth. I assumed you didn't like Babe Ruth because he famously ended up going to the Yankees, but
I don't care about that.
I
care about justice for Helen.
Okay. I more care about like the players of yesteryear that we love were good for the sport and the era in which they played, but when people prop them up against like today's athletes, I'm always like, whenever people are like LeBron or Jordan, who you got? Even though like Jordan wasn't that long ago, I'm like probably LeBron, because like LeBron has like today's nutrition and coaching and everything.
No chance Babe Ruth is hitting a curveball.
Right, Babe Ruth
never saw a fastball over 83 miles an hour.
Babe Ruth would be so bad at baseball horrible at baseball, and people like when people say like, "Whoa, Shohei Ohtani is like it's like watching Babe Ruth." It's like, no, it's not. It's like watching an awesome baseball player.
Yeah. And the other thing that people will say is, oh, well, if Babe Ruth played today, then he would have modern medicine and training. Do you think that guy's getting in the fucking gym?
Right.
The entire movie just shows about how he's drunk all the time and smoking cigars in the dugout, and he's just pissed drunk, and he's a fat piece of shit. It's not like exercising didn't exist in 1918.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I've seen old pictures of like old hockey players. Like, I've seen like Gordie Howe, and like that dude was yoked and like in his prime, and Babe Ruth was like 20 years before and was a tub of lard.
If there's more stories about you in your playing days as like
a partier,
he sucked a home run after playing cards all night, like more so than like, all right, it was 2-2, like both pitchers were fucking dealing, and he fucking fell behind 0-2 in the count, which that's another baseball take of mine, Jared. I'm done with saying it's a good at bat if you battle back from 0-2.
Don't go down 0-2.
Yeah, you know what a good at bat is?
Hitting a homer.
First pitch grand slam.
Socking a dinger.
Yeah, get in and get out.
Yeah.
But there's no stories like that about Babe Ruth. All the stories about Babe Ruth...
Because he sucks.
Yes, exactly. All the stories about Babe Ruth are like, he ate 9 Italian subs, waddled up there, and still was able to clear the bases. And it's like, well, then it sounds like a real shoddy operation in which he was taking part.
So after the 8th minute of Babe Ruth talk, I am concerned that you maybe watched the wrong movie.
I heard that as well. You said the whole movie.
Babe.
The one with John Goodman?
So this is 1988's Bull Durham versus 1995 animal comedy Babe.
First time for everything. We had
The
it.
best.
Wait, what?
The other movie was Babe, not the
the
Babe.
pig?
The one
Yes.
with the pig, yeah.
The pig?
Yes. That was the other movie that you were supposed
This is
to
the
watch.
best episode of anything we've ever done. This makes me
Can
so
I,
happy.
Can I just call a timeout real quick? Because if Pete's like, hey, we want to do like a baseball episode with you,
Yeah.
and then you say Bull Durham, and then
Babe. I didn't say the Babe. I said Babe.
Yeah.
The
Famously,
joke.
that there were no articles in what he wrote. Just Babe.
I think
the
that's
joke
on
was-
you to specify, like, not the baseball movie.
Well, I think that's on you for not having a sense of humor and figuring out that we were joking about Babe being a reference to Babe Ruth.
Yeah, we did say on the podcast, we said we're having Jared for Tomato Fights, and both are baseball movies. And then like Pete like smirked, and I was like, "You get what I'm saying?" And he was
Yes.
like, "Right, because of Babe." And we were like, "Yes, Babe," because we had said we weren't going to say what the movies were, and then we revealed that one of them was Babe. Yo,
We picked one baseball movie and we picked a movie that matched it. So the entire premise of this podcast is that we take two movies with the same Rotten Tomato score and we decide which one is better. I don't know what the tomato score for The Babe is, but I guarantee it's not 97%.
I was shocked when you said that it was 97. I was like, it's not a bad movie. It wasn't a bad movie, but I'm glad I watched it. I'd never seen it before.
I don't want to.
I mean,
I
going
don't
to
wanna
go home and
spoil.
watch it after this.
Yeah.
The Babe is a 47 on Rotten Tomatoes, by
Okay.
the way, with a 37% audience score.
Wait, so what's
I
our-
think that Helen's family.
What's our score? Oh, 97?
97?
Okay, so it's less than half.
Which I will say, again, we try not to shoot our wads and like give away the ending of the discussion. I think that 97 is quite high for both
of these movies for sure.
And I even like one of them. I like one of these movies a lot.
Same. And 97 is very high. I'm excited, though, now that we're going to hear a discussion about 3 movies.
Yeah.
Yo, we did. So this is the best episode of anything we've done. Probably the worst episode of anything we've done is Pete and I we each watched a movie at the same time and described it to the other one while podcasting. So like I was watching a movie. I was watching, what was the one with Adam Levine? Shit. Is the one people liked it. It was about music or something. Somebody cheated on somebody. Anyway, you were watching an action movie.
I was watching the Wrecking Ball movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Right. So like I was watching
Demolition.
a movie trying to pay attention to it. As Pete was telling me, we called it the most efficient podcast ever.
Just
in
recapping
reality,
2 movies in the middle of a podcast.
and ultimately, I didn't get anything from the movie I was watching or hear what you were saying.
No, it's the worst.
Like when it's the worst. Like when 2 games are on. Like when all the sports came back, I set up like a bunch of TVs in my living room during the pandemic.
You end up watching none of the games because
And-
your eyes are just like,
Yeah, I watched nothing. I especially if one of them is like a soccer game. If you miss the goal, then you're like, well,
what am I doing here?
just go. Well, I just missed this hockey game now for that. Anyway, this is a great development, Jared. I'm very
Very
happy
excited.
This is what's happened.
I'm still gonna blame Pete for this because
fair.
I'll say that there should be no embarrassment on anybody's part. Like
Yeah.
Pete shouldn't feel bad. You shouldn't feel bad.
I
I'm
feel
elated.
I feel bad that he watched a movie that he didn't have to.
about someone that I hate.
Man,
And about a topic that you hate for movies. Why do you hate baseball movies, by the way?
They just don't do anything for it. Like I guess that makes me a baseball snob, but I don't think that. I mean, like Bull Durham came out the year before I was born, so like I said, I do enjoy Moneyball, but it was too Hollywood.
it was quite Sorkin-y, is what movie people would say.
Like they've yet to make a good modern day baseball movie where like when Tim Tebow tried
I
out for the
disagree.
Mets.
Everybody Wants Some.
Everybody Wants Some is a very cute movie.
What is that?
It's a movie about a college baseball team. Highly recommend.
When did it come out?
Like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, it has,
Flew very much under the radar.
Zoe Deutsch? What is her name?
I don't know. It has Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell's in it?
Yeah.
Their boobs in it.
I would
No.
guess. I would guess.
There's no boobs in baseball,
That's right.
famously.
Famously.
That was a good. A League of Their Own is an awesome movie. No? Whoa.
I don't know if I've ever seen it front to back.
A League of Their Own has one of Tom Hanks's greatest lines. Is when he's arguing with the umpire.
There's a snake in my boots.
Yes. The boots, correct. Yes. There's a snake going through both of my boots right now. It did a magic trick where it sawed itself.
That's
in
right.
half. When he's arguing with the umpire and the umpire like cools him down because he doesn't want to toss him, and he's like, okay, fine. And then as the ump's walking away, he says, "I don't ever tell you look like a little penis with a hat on." And then he just like immediately gets tossed. That's baseball.
Hell
Isn't
yeah.
it, Jared?
I'm trying to think of baseball movies are too dramatic sometimes. Like Field of Dreams.
Most
You're
movies
like,
are.
You're like they're giving baseball too much credit.
Yeah, it's just it's too like emotional. It's like, can't we just have
Too many
a
ghosts.
fun baseball movie? I don't know.
All right,
like,
so
I like Major League, but
Hardball?
Major League's old too.
Hardball's pretty dramatic. They
Hardball,
kill a child.
They kill a kid.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, G baby.
Want to get into Bull Durham?
Yes.
Since it's the one movie that we actually watched together.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So Bull Durham only nominated for 1 Academy Award, but Ron Shelton did win for Best Original Screenplay. As I said, this is the highest rated sports movie on Rotten Tomatoes. It is the story of Nuke Lelouch trying to work his way to the bigs, Crash Davis coming in to help him because he's an idiot and he has sex too much before the games. But here's a twist for a 1988 sports movie. It is told through the prism of a very knowledgeable, great baseball fan woman who shtups the players. And Susan Sarandon. So that was the description, I guess. And I hope it was a good one. But like the biggest takeaway from this movie, there are many, but like Susan Sarandon is this movie.
She rocks.
Yeah.
She's great. This movie is essentially Good Luck Chuck, but baseball.
I've never seen Good Luck Chuck. That's a Dane Cook film, correct?
Yes. Yeah, but do you understand do you know the premise of Good Luck Chuck?
No.
Women have sex with Chuck because after they have sex with Chuck, the next guy that they meet, they get married to.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, he's seen as like a good luck charm to these women. And essentially, Susan Sarandon is Chuck, but instead of getting married after you have sex with her, you go to the majors.
I think you just get better at baseball because of all the people in this movie. She's like the only one who like really I would trust with any baseball advice.
She seems to know baseball. And also, like, if you're having sex
can
with
hit.
Susan Sarandon,
Yeah.
you're probably like happier
Yeah.
and having a better time at work.
Yeah. She looks great in this movie.
She looks awesome.
Yeah.
What's the other girl's name? Millie.
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 Yeah. She's more my speed.
Yeah. Millie.
Yeah.
Millie is great. Another way of describing this movie is it tells you about life and what happens in between mound visits. Because all this movie is mound visits.
Yeah.
There are so many fucking mound visits in this game. And I meant to look this up, Jared. Did MLB put a limit on catchers' mound visits?
Yes, they did.
This movie would not have worked today because
This movie has not aged well.
right, like longest. I'm gonna go seam head on your asses.
Ooh.
Longest baseball game correct was Pawtucket Red Sox
Yes.
in Rochester Red Wings.
Yeah,
33 innings.
They still sell T-shirts.
Right, so that's how I know. Every time I went to a Paw Sox game when I was a kid, like the souvenir cups were like, we played a long baseball game. Like,
Yeah.
cool.
Like,
In like
sick,
10 years,
dude.
every baseball game I go to is going to be super long. But these games, like a normal 9-inning crash, Nuke Lelouch start would have been like the longest baseball game in history.
Yeah.
Because there'd be like...
He needs a
400
scolding every half inning.
Yeah. He always comes out and talks to him, and then Nuke doesn't listen to him. Nuke, played by Tim Robbins, who is also excellent, plays like a real goofball. Good performances in this movie. I'll say we'll get to Kevin Costner in a minute, but yeah, he gives him a scolding, and then he goes back and multiple times then tells the the batter what pitch is coming, so
It's
Nuke
awesome.
can get rocked. Even though Nuke's accuracy is so bad that it doesn't it shouldn't matter if he tells him what's coming because it's probably going to be a ball.
It is
true.
It is hilarious that like about 3/4 of the way through the movie, Nuke gets called up to the majors, which seems like a significant jump. I believe that like the Durham Bulls are A-ball.
At the time, so
They say A-ball
yes,
in the movie.
they call there's. So I was gonna pick Jared's brain about some of the minor league machinations of all this because the Durham Bulls
I believe they're AAA,
now
right?
are AAA.
Yeah.
But
I think they're the Rays organization.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
a subplot of this movie is so Crash is a lifer, right? He's a minor league lifer.
I think they said
And
12 years in the minors or something like
12
that.
years in the
200 and
minors.
something minor league home runs.
Yeah.
Which, like, I hope that guy is, like, investing his money well and everything because, famously, minor league baseball is not a fair game at all. So, to have to play 12 years in the minors, that, like, he probably was making, like...
Yeah, $300 a month. And
Nothing.
he said he played 21 days in the big leagues.
Yeah.
So prorated with like a 1988 big league salary, he probably made about, I don't know, like $6,000.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
not a lot of money, but he's like your classic gentleman. One of my favorite things about this movie is that she hooks up with one guy a season, in her words. Actually, Gary Tangway and I, during the pandemic, we wanted to recreate scenes remotely. This is an idea that I had Pete for us to do. Pete passed. Didn't think the
Passed on the roll.
didn't have the acting bug at the time. So Gary was like, yes, absolutely. And work only let us do it if we did sports movies. And I kind of had the same reaction that you would probably have, Jared, which is like, sports movies aren't that good. But we did Bull Durham, which I'd never seen before. We did the scene where she sits the guys down and tells them like, all right, I fuck one of you guys and here are the rules. And I was Susan Sarandon. So I did like for a time have that shit memorized, all the cosmic shit and everything. But she sits them down and she's like, all right, I'm going to bang one of you two. And Nuke, this young kid, is all like, oh yeah, I'm down. Awesome. This is early in the movie. Homeboy stands up, Kevin Costner, and does the like, you got the wrong guy if you think that like this is how I roll. And you're like, okay. He says, I don't leave matters of the heart to like cosmic powers or whatever. So you're like, okay, he's a romantic.
It's a real cosmic gumbo.
And then like 2 of the next 8 words he says are pussy and cock.
Yes.
You're like, oh, okay, well, it was it was fun while it lasted. That speech that he gives, I think, is a little ridiculous.
It is quite outrageous. He says like, I'm about like pussy, cock,
Yeah.
baseball, beer.
What do you say? He says soft, wet kisses that last for
3
Yeah,
days.
3
Yeah,
days.
I was like,
yeah.
what is this guy saying?
It's like,
Yeah.
that's not how you... Hold on. How do
This
you
sounds
kiss?
like
Yeah,
a.
that's
This,
not how you kiss.
It sounds like an ad-libs segment.
Yeah, that's...
It was also off-putting that he didn't have to think about any of that. That's what I was thinking. As he's rattling off all the things that he believes in, he didn't have to search his brain for any words, and he didn't stop and stutter to think about what he was
So
about
he's
to
done
say.
that speech
You've said
like
it
3
before.
times.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, dude, we get it. Like you
This
break
is not
this out
my
at
first
parties.
minor league team.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, he's been at a bar, and, like, a girl has come up to him and been like, hey, I know this is presumptuous, but you, me, let's go. And he is then
It's
said
like, oh,
back,
he's
instead
gonna
of
do
just
the
being
believe
like,
in speech again.
Oh, so I'd be like, oh, you know, I'm flattered. Better not. He's like, it's kind of loud. Can we go over here to talk for a second?
Yeah.
Listen, motherfucker. I believe in the cock. The pussy. She's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I mean, that's why his mound visits last so long. He's just going out there, practicing the speech with his pitchers, and they're just like, "Yo, I'm just asking for a pitch here."
That's what I'm gonna do. So there was I've been making stupid video clips lately out of boredom, but the one I wanted to make off of this was I wanted to splice Nicolas Cage into Babe. So like Babe's running around and everything, and then Nicolas Cage shows up
From
and is
Pig.
like, I believe someone has my pig. I'm looking for my pig. Have you seen the movie Pig?
There's no
No.
chance that he's
There's
seen
a
the
movie
movie
called
Pig.
Pig starring Nicolas Cage that came out in 2021. It is
God.
about
It's
a
very good.
truffle hunter whose pig gets stolen, and all it is 2 hours of Nicolas Cage going up to everybody saying, I'm looking for my pig. And it is legitimately the best fucking movie in the world.
Is
It's
it
an
supposed
awesome
to be
movie.
funny, or is it
It's not
unintentionally
funny. It's not funny.
Incredible.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so well shot. It's so well acted. Like Oscar nominations came out this week, and our biggest like outrage was that it wasn't up for Best Picture.
It's
Nicolas
so good.
Cage just going to people like, do you know anything about a pig? Because mine has been stolen.
It is such an outrageous premise for a movie, but it's so good.
But the video clip that we'll have to do will be a mound visit,
and it's just the speech dubbed
and it's
over.
just dubbed in like, what is he? What Nuke being like? What does he know about fun? And he comes back and he's like, and another thing, I believe in pussy.
Yeah, no, like going back to my point, it's like Nuke gets called up, and I don't understand why. That was the biggest confusion for me. You
Yeah.
didn't get that much better.
No. He had
He's-
like one good game.
Yeah, he had one good start, and he gave up a home run at the end of it, and they were like, "Ooh, we gotta bring this guy up
Yeah.
now. Ride the hot hand."
He like struck out the side in a start, and they were like, "This guy's going to the show."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what?
You know what? Yankees too, by the way. Who, I mean, they're not competitive, right? Right?
Wait.
Doesn't he go up to the Yankees?
I don't think.
I-
Does he?
Or is he in Yankee Stadium?
He might be in
Like-
Yankee Stadium, but I believe. I mean, I don't know if it's the case at the time, but the Durham Bulls or the Rays.
Right, but
Well, the Rays
weren't
didn't
kicking
exist.
around
They
in
didn't
88.
exist, yeah.
It's true.
So I think it was
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yankees. I could be wrong. Tim Robbins walks 18 and strikes out 18
Yeah.
in his minor league debut, and he would 1,000% be my favorite player.
Yeah, that is the Jameis Winston of baseball.
Or it's honestly like the walks weren't too bad. But Jared, remember when John Lester first came up and he would throw like 5 scoreless innings with like 11 strikeouts on 200 pitches?
Oh yeah.
I feel like that was
That was
Daisuke too
the
at the
best.
Daisuke for like the majority of his career.
Oh yeah,
Daisuke would
had
go 5 strong with like
Lot of
10
mound visits there.
strikeouts, 10 strikeouts, 4 walks, 5 walks, and like 4 earned runs.
From 1980 to 1997, they were the Atlanta Braves
Okay.
affiliate.
Okay, so another thing that's important there is that there's a subplot where where Kevin Costner, because he's been toiling in the minors so long, is 20 home runs away from the minor league record. And Susan Sarandon knows this.
And nobody else knows
Nobody
this.
else knows it. He basically like threatens to kill her if she tells anybody because he finds it to be embarrassing. Now, once Nuke gets called up to the show, they no longer need Crash behind the plate, so they release him. He then signs with another team, the Asheville Tourists, I believe,
correct.
and breaks the record with them. The Asheville Tourists in from 1970 until 1921 were a single A team. So he just went to fucking single A and just fucking launched them.
Hell yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Over there.
I own an Asheville Taurus hat.
Really?
Yes,
Why?
because I went to Asheville for a bachelor party a couple years ago.
Interesting.
Great place. But I believe it's an independent league team now.
They are a high A ball.
High A
team,
ball? Okay.
Which
Do they have an affiliation?
I
They
forget.
must.
Yeah, they've gotta.
I thought that scene when Crash gets called into the manager's office, because that's baseball. Like,
Yeah.
if you get called into the office and they're like, this is one of the hardest parts of my job and blah, 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 you're going to the show.
Yeah,
Like, I thought Crash
yeah,
was getting
same.
called up.
I thought it was misdirection too, because they already did that whole thing with a guy earlier in the movie who, like,
Yeah.
I don't believe that we should have cared about. So I thought that was going to be set up for the Crash thing to be misdirection.
Yes.
And then it ended up being the exact
Yeah,
same
you're
scene.
released too. Yeah, like that was They definitely should have done, but that's also you could either do the feel good story where Crash reunites with Nuke in the big leagues, which would be a great feel good moment, or it's like, hey, you're fucking released, and like that's
baseball.
That's baseball.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people that just straight up never make it to the show.
You know what my favorite scene like that is? Because every baseball movie has a get called into the manager's office and get cut, traded, DFA'd, whatever. Do you remember Little Big League, where the kid inherits the Minnesota Twins?
I know the movie, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
That movie is so much better than Rookie of the Year, or I liked it a lot better.
I loved Rookie of the Year.
So like I probably similar to like I didn't like actually playing the video games, but like I liked being the GM and like simming seasons and everything. So like this is the you own the team version.
It scratched that itch
of-
for you.
Yeah, of Rookie of the Year. Somebody dies, kid inherits the baseball team, but him and his friends are like big fans. He has to DFA somebody, and he calls them in, and he's like, hey, this isn't easy for me, but we have to release you. And this is terrible for you, but I've been your biggest fan for such a long time. I could have traded your baseball card for whatever, and I wouldn't do it because it had that much sentimental value to me. It breaks my heart that I have to do this, but I'm a businessman. This kid's like 4. And the guy like is like a big dude and is like, I'm about to go tell my children that their dad doesn't have a job, but it's okay because some kid likes my baseball card. And he's like on the verge of tears and walks out. And I'm like, oh, that was a scene.
How can you not be poetic about baseball?
Yeah. Oh my God. Also, there's something very just like romantic about like the minor league baseball manager's office. I hope that everybody at some point in their life has to, for whatever reason, be around that setting. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's like, not to stereotype, there's like a couple of out of shape people sitting around. There's probably like a beer somewhere going, or it's just a very chill setting, but like people who are professional in their own right. It's a real scene over there.
When did this movie take place again? Or like when was it?
88 is when it came out.
So like people definitely kept stats.
Yeah.
The fact that Susan Sarandon was like the only person in the world that knew Crash Davis was 20 home runs away from the minor league home run record seems a little bit.
I mean, they would be stamping that on the cover of every program. Like,
yes.
minor league baseball is so much about like attraction.
Yeah.
That
it's history.
Yeah.
Right. But they already have an attraction, and it's the Clown Prince of Baseball.
Do you know if that was a real guy?
Well, I did when I watched the credits, and it was the Clown Prince of Baseball as himself.
Whoa.
And I was like, damn, that is respect.
The
And he
what
got
now?
the and, too.
He got the
He got the and.
So, Jared, a thing that really takes us with movies is in the credits at the end, sometimes they'll do the credits, and you see a movie with Bruce Willis, Courtney Cox, Susan Sarandon or something. You see the credits and it'll be like Bruce Willis, Courtney Cox, Keanu Reeves, and you're like, oh, whoa, they snubbed Susan Sarandon there. And they're doing all these people. You're like, yo, why are they burying Susan Sarandon? And then at the end, it will say, and Susan Sarandon. And you're like, oh, they gave her the fucking and.
The and or the with?
Yeah, it's a real sign of respect.
Ooh.
It's a real sign of respect. We don't know that
Is
to
that,
be true.
is that oh, okay. That's the you guys thing.
No, it's definitely true because like they give that to big actors.
Yeah.
It's the last thing that you get before the movie starts.
A lot of
Yeah.
times, like, the dad gets that, or like the mom will get like an
Yeah,
and.
it's like a smaller-ish character, but like with a well-respected actor in the role.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think. Like Christopher Plummer, I bet, could get it for the new Ben Affleck movie, right? Like that would make sense. The Tender Bar?
Christopher Plummer's in that? No.
Is Christopher?
No,
Wait, who's Christopher Plummer?
Christopher Plummer is dead. He was the old guy. I know who you're talking about. Shit. Christopher.
Oh yeah,
The guy from Back to the Future.
guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that guy apparently wasn't in that movie. Why is Kevin Costner in so many
Christopher
baseball
Lloyd.
movies? Christopher Lloyd, yeah. Why is Kevin Costner in so many baseball movies?
The guy loves baseball.
Loves baseball.
Does he?
And that was one of the things that I was going to say earlier about watching Tim Tebow's tryout for the Mets was that Tim Tebow looked like an actor in every other baseball movie where it's like, all right, this guy's just an actor. He clearly doesn't play baseball. Like he's wearing the uniform, he's wearing the pants, he's attempting to do baseball things, but very clearly doesn't play baseball. Kevin Costner, if you watch Bull Durham, you're watching him take swings, like he's facing live pitching, he's getting base hits, he's running down the line, and it's all one cut because Kevin Costner can actually play baseball.
That's an asset then. That's like
He's
real...
been in so many baseball movies.
Yeah.
So he's like, do you know that when they, I think it was like the director or something, after, when they started to make Ray, they were like, okay, Jamie Foxx, so what you're going to want to do is just kind of wiggle your shoulders and just like move your hands up and down. Don't go too crazy because piano players don't actually go like this. Just kind of have them near the piano. And he was like, I'm going to be playing all this. And they were like, oh, do you play piano? And he was like, yes. Like I like went to school for it and like I'm like a classically trained pianist. That's like why I took this job. And they were like, oh, cool. Well, that's neat.
Yeah. Good to know.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're like, oh, we were just racist is why we cast you.
I think that Kevin Costner is a big like, hey, I'm only gonna do stuff I'm interested in
Yeah,
sort
that's
of
cool.
guy.
Sure.
Like now he's like he does like country western music and he just does Yellowstone. So like I think that he's just in like a country phase.
Didn't even know that he did Yellowstone.
Oh, he like is Yellowstone. He's like the patriarch of the family.
Interesting.
He's very good.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I've seen this movie a few times now.
It's
and
my first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a good movie, and I like it a lot. But the same thing happens every time I watch it. And darn if it didn't happen this time too. Once Nuke gets the call to the bigs, there's a half hour left in the movie, and Nuke has been stooping Sarandon to this point, but he hasn't really because he's
on the winning streak.
He's on the winning streak. He's got the George Costanza, I'm smarter when I'm not having sex type of thing. Sorry, they don't say having sex in this movie. This is a big, they call it one of two things. They call it making love or getting laid. And I have never known those two to be like in the
interchangeable.
same realm.
Yeah.
Like people who say making love, I don't think say get laid.
No.
I think that like people say people.
It's a mindset thing.
People might say people who say make love might also say like bang and fuck, and I think the people who say get laid definitely say bang and fuck, but I don't think that people who say make love say get laid.
They don't think those two phrases aren't in the same vocabulary for most people.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right, when I said like same realm, I was like, I suppose they're related and that they're both about the same thing. But yeah, that was like an inaccuracy that stood out to me. But so he's stooping Sarandon because Crash Davis withdraws his name from consideration, pulls a Byron Leftwich, is like, no thank you, don't want this at all. And then there's like a will they won't they with him and Sarandon throughout the movie. And once Nuke goes up to the show, those two get together, and I don't fucking care for the rest of the movie. I don't care about the last half hour of that movie. It never does anything for me. I'm like, it should have just ended with them like having sex or making love, and then it's like, okay, well, they end up with each other.
Well, I mean, like I wouldn't say that I don't care. I thought that you were gonna go in a different direction because like for the last half hour of the movie, it's just like a softcore porn. Yeah. It's just them having sex the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's like, all right, we get it. Like, I know that people have kind of been like waiting for something to happen because there's been like a lot of teasing for like an hour with Sarandon, but like, I think you might have only needed like a couple of these takes instead of just like a marathon session. But that was more of like my thing is like, okay, so this movie just turns into a porn.
Yeah, how does this movie even end? I just saw it.
He quits.
Oh, right.
He quits.
Yeah, he
and
retires, and then they have sex in the bathtub, and
yeah.
No,
that was before that because they have like this big romp, and they
had sex in the kitchen.
They had milk sex, and I
Milk
was
sex.
so uncomfortable and so
On the milk,
unhappy.
yes.
I was like,
That's
first of all,
gross.
why do you even have milk? Like
Dry
what is
cereal
milk?
squad.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like milk's terrible for
There's
you. That's
so
not
much
terrible
sex
for
in
you,
the
but-
last half hour of the movie that I don't remember when the bathtub scene came. Whether it was like
Hopefully after the milk sex.
Try watching that sitting next to a gentleman on the plane.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, I think so that was the thing is that every
You just turn to him
time
and go, I just really like baseball.
Yeah. Every time that I've seen Bull Durham previous to when I watched it on the plane, I'm pretty sure it's been on TV. So I wasn't sure if there were any boobs in Bull Durham. So all these sex scenes.
There aren't.
There are not. No, they're not.
They really almost go there.
I would say the
with
manager
Millie.
is a bit of a boob, but other
No,
than
they
that,
do in the bathtub too. Very close to boobs.
Yeah. Well, yes. That first scene with Nuke and Millie, you think like, hey, this is a blonde chick. She's naked. She's also now wearing like a white top that's see-through with no bra. And you're like, strap in. There's going to be some boobs in this. And there's just not. There's just not.
What a takeaway from the
I love
film.
your brain.
Yeah. Millie's hilarious, by the way.
She's great.
She like shtups the players, and when the manager comes in and is like, unacceptable, can't be having sex like when the game is just about to start. She's like, my dad donates money.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. My dad
like,
bought
alright.
the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, hey, Millie.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Right, like you again. And I'm like, there's got to be some compromise they can arrive at that is not like, no.
He's like, Millie, you know how baseball works, right? Like 3 strikes and you're out. This is your 45th strike.
But she settles down. She meets that
She
Christian
does.
guy, and Crash, nice
Immediately
guy
gets
that he
married.
is
That
like,
actress has got to be pushing 60 now.
whoa, time do
I hope they're still together.
time do work that way, man.
That's right.
Time be doing work.
Time do make it so years pass. Everybody.
Also, one of the most unrealistic things about this movie is that Nuke starts to pitch well and the entire team turns around.
That is
Yeah.
true.
That's like
He could be like
he's pitching once every 5 days.
he could be like, what would it be, like 2000?
She's
Six?
58. She's 58.
He could be like 2000.
Jenny Robertson.
Nice.
Would it be 2007 Sabathia? When
What?
the
Oh,
Brewers traded for him,
yeah.
and they were like, "Listen, buddy, here's the plan. Every day." And he was like,
That was
"Every day."
2008.
2008.
He won the Cy Young in 07. That was
Right,
the year
over
that Beckett. Yeah.
That was watching the fucking Brewers. I was in college, but like catching Brewers day games when he was on the bump just every day.
They were
Because
like, okay, you're a rental, but
Yeah.
we are going to run you into the ground.
Exactly.
We're definitely not going to pay you after this.
We are getting our money's worth.
Yeah.
who'd they give up? I was gonna say like we gave up something good for you, and they did. They gave up a very prized possession at the time. Give you a hint. There's a connection to the Red Sox. Draft pick of the Red Sox, who did not sign, and then became not the first overall pick, but was a very high draft pick. Played his college ball at Florida. Power hitting first baseman. Did not really amount to anything.
Power hitting first baseman
Yeah.
was what the Brewers gave up.
Yes.
Travis Hafner?
Nope.
I was gonna say he was
He
there
amounted to
before.
something.
No. Yeah. This guy did not have the career that Hafner did.
Who is it?
Did Hafner have bad tweets?
I don't know. That was
No.
Aubrey Huff.
Aubrey Huff. Yeah. Sorry.
That guy has had a lot more than bad tweets. He's had a bad.
Also, Travis Hafner and Aubrey Huff.
Experience.
I was just like very much being like, well, it's the same guy. Matt Laporta. Remember Matt Laporta?
shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but they were like, yeah, we gave up Laporta for you. You are pitching every day, buddy.
Yeah. And he did. He pitched every 3 games.
That was awesome. Maybe that's what they were doing with Nuke. They were like, he's just a child. Let's just ruin his
That's
arm.
right.
He, by the way, I gotta look up how tall Tim Robbins is.
He's huge.
Is
in
he
this movie.
huge IRL?
I think so.
I mean,
Yeah.
they shoot him massively when he's.
He's very tall.
Yeah, he very much looks like a goofy pitcher. He's
He's like a Henry Owens.
yeah.
But like him also being like the hot shot, like young stud didn't really register for me. And I don't know if it's because I know Tim Robbins as like an old guy before I knew him as a young fellow, but he also didn't look very like young or athletic. But then again, it's also baseball, so it doesn't matter. And he's a pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any
He's 6'5" IRL.
6'5". Do we think this is? We could just look this up. Is this where those two met? You think? And got together?
Who?
Robbins and Sarandon.
I didn't know that they're together.
Oh, they were thick as thieves forever.
Really?
They were considered like, Hollywood weirdo kooks. Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins are up to it again. And it's like, well, what are they doing? And it's like, they disagree with a war. And everyone was like, wimps. Whereas now it's like, if somebody's like, hey, I've got like a thought on this political thing, everyone's like, yeah, go off. You better have a thought on the political
What
thing.
year did this movie come out?
88.
88.
Partner Susan Sarandon, 1988 to 2009.
Wow, so
Damn, that's a
so
run.
that whole scene was real.
That's
And
right.
Costner was like, you know what? You can pick him because I believe in, and like the director's like, I've worked with him before. He does this all the time. Let's just roll it. This actually could be used in the movie. The scene when he walks out and it's just those two left, Tim Robbins says, he's crazy. I want you bad.
Yeah.
First time I saw the movie, I was like, I'm not going to like this movie. I think this might suck. But it's a good movie.
I am shocked that it's a 97.
It's not
though.
97.
It's not 97 worthy.
I
No.
would say that it's like,
Low 90s.
for me, I would say like 80 to 85, and I'll allow 90.
That's disrespectful.
It might be because
I'd say it's like a 92.
Sarandon is
Is
awesome
it?
in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's in the 90s.
I think it's like a 92. It's a really good story.
And it's like a comedy movie that's driven well by serious actors,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I don't, you wouldn't think of like, I don't know, does Kevin Costner, and I think like who do you think is like the main character in this? Actually, it's probably Kevin Costner.
It's Costner.
Yeah.
But like I'd say it's kind of driven by Sarandon.
It is.
She's not the type where you're thinking she's driving a comedy movie.
No, definitely not. I think the fact that I watched it for the first time and would say that it's like a 92 means that when it came out in 88, people were probably like, this movie fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Because a lot of movies at the time were not very good.
That's why it surprises me. Only one nomination for it. But Durham Bulls, by the way, just a classic logo.
Yeah,
Just
very
a
cool.
Classic. I mean, everyone these days, the minor league
Why did they
teams-
call the movie Bull Durham?
That's a
'Cause, like-
great question.
Oh, right. I was like, because of like the Durham Bulls. But then I was
Yes.
like, yeah, right. But like, what's like the
why-
fun
yeah.
or what's the game there? I don't know. That's a great question.
I think that I've asked that question like half the movies that we've done tomato fights for.
Why is it called that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it called
Durham
Bull Durham?
Yeah. Why is it? Fuck. Good question. I can't.
Google that. I bet you there's an explanation.
I bet.
Why is
let's
it
see.
called Bull Durham?
Why is it called Bull Durham?
Yeah, I want to know like if there's a play on words there.
The film's name is based on the nickname for Durham, North Carolina, so maybe Durham is known as Bull Durham, and the Durham Bulls are named after that.
Okay.
Since the 1880s, when W.T. Blackwell and Company, that just sounds bad and problematic. 1874, W.T. Blackwell and Company named its product Bull Durham Tobacco, which soon became a well-known trademark. Yes, so it's named after the town, and the baseball team is named after the town.
Okay. That works a little bit more because it is about the town.
Right, so it would be like if the movie was called like Nebraska or something.
Yeah.
I didn't like Nebraska.
I thought it was fine.
It was just too much old
All right,
people sitting around doing chips.
Well, speaking of old people sitting around, let's get into Babe.
Yo, this movie was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. I hated this movie. I couldn't remember anything from it.
I remember loving it as a kid.
I remembered one thing, and I didn't even remember. It was just familiar once I saw it, which was the mice singing Blue Moon. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that they had like a residency and that they sang throughout the entire movie. But I watched the first half of this movie sober, could not pay attention, could not like keep connected to it.
It kept getting lost, kept having to rewind because I was not paying attention.
I thought, what would Sean Evans do? And popped an edible. And then I just like aggressively didn't like it. And then I ordered a candy bar from Uber Eats, and they brought me 3. And so I just ate 3 candy bars, and that was my very analytical Babe watching experience.
I have very few notes other than like, why do people like this movie?
And I remember us being like, did you see Babe?
Yeah.
I love Babe.
Yeah, and like I loved it as a kid, and I'm like, who let me watch this movie? This movie is extremely dark.
Yo, the farmer pulls a gun on Babe. The farmer keeps that thing on him.
The entire first half of the movie is like, oh, he's going to kill you.
Yeah, so
he's like brandishing a knife. He's brandishing a gun. They're like, oh, we got to get you nice and fat to kill you later.
So I
is
guess
this an animated film?
No,
it is sort of like it's real animals, but they like animate the mouth.
Homeward Bound type shit. Have you seen?
What year did this come out?
95.
Okay.
It was nominated for Best Picture.
Can you do me a favor and pull up the trailer, please?
Yeah, let's give him the trailer.
I would love to. I mean, I probably have seen this movie, but I would imagine I was single digit age when I did see it.
When I first came to the boss's farm, it was a whole new world to me. Everyone here seemed to know their place. The boss and his wife, the sheepdogs, the sheep, and all the other animals. Well, almost.
We've got to do something about that duck.
Now I just have to figure out where I fit in. I want my mom.
Good heavens. Who are you?
Babe.
There. The little pig's a bit low. He's going to sleep with us.
But Mom, he'll wet the bed. What are you?
You.
Pig. What are you?
I'm a you.
This is the story of a brave soul
Hello, sir. Get out of here.
who is trying to find his destiny.
Can I learn how to work the sheep today?
Get him up, pig.
Remember, you have to dominate them. Bend them to your will. Ruff, 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 ruff.
He knew his path would not be easy.
I'm not sure if you realize how much the other animals are laughing at you.
It's not a duck that thinks it's a rooster. It's a pig that thinks it's a dog.
You should accept what he is and be thankful for it.
But now he's determined
They're sheep. They're inferior.
Oh, no, they're not.
to take care of business
All a nice little pig like you need do is ask.
his way.
Thanks very much. It was very kind of you. A pleasure. What a nice little pig.
From Universal Pictures comes the story of Babe,
You look like an intelligent, sophisticated, discerning young fella. Who, me?
the pig with the gift of gab,
La, la, la.
nerves of steel,
Get out of here, you big buttheads.
and a heart
May I call you Mom?
of gold. Babe,
You saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a lover.
a lot of things there. One, I realized when watching that the voice of Babe is just Jenny Slate. And,
Yes. Yeah.
Which is weird because I love Jenny Slate's voice, but maybe just because I didn't like the movie.
I liked it in
Babe.
this. It was like one of the redeeming things. I thought
it
it was cute. Yeah.
Okay. The other is they say the pig with the gift of gab. That makes me kind of like the movie a little more. If I like what you, like, I feel like I want to rewatch it, being like, he's got the gift of gab.
He's a charismatic pig.
Yeah, right. Then maybe I'll root for it a little more. And Jared, you noticed from the trailer that James Cromwell is in Babe. He plays the murderous farmer. But you said that he's in The Babe?
He's in The Babe.
That is an impressive feat.
Yeah.
So what didn't know.
Did we just confirm that? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He plays Brother Matheson?
So yeah, he is at the beginning of The Babe, some sort of private school disciplinarian religious figure type deal, and he's just like a super hardo that's throwing batting practice to the kids and just striking everyone out to teach them all a lesson. And then Babe Ruth just starts like hitting homers through church windows, and then he's like, "Oh my God, it's the miracle I've been waiting my whole life for."
Jesus Christ, that movie sounds like shit.
Yeah.
It sounds like I would have had a better time
Yeah,
watching
definitely.
The Babe than watching Babe, because
I would have had more notes too.
right, more things to have fun with. There's only one big note that I have with Babe.
Hold on, before we get to it, I didn't know that the movie was the screenplay of Babe was by George Miller. George Miller of Mad Max fame.
Oh,
so like,
wow.
I think that like maybe at the time people were caught up in the George Miller hype, and it's like possible that's why it spiked the reviews so much. But it also is funny that like the guy that did like incredible action movies did Babe.
I also know that it is based on a book by someone with a hyphenated last name that I really wish wasn't hyphenated. His name is Dick King Smith, and I just really wish his name was Dick King.
Or King Dick Smith. That would be an awesome,
like
awesome
Boss
name.
Bailey or something.
Yes.
Yeah, Dick King would be such a cool. Oh my God, what a
Dick King.
boss ass name.
Yeah. The logo possibilities are endless.
Dick King?
Yeah. You just have like a
branding.
diamond necklace with like a big cock and a crown on it.
Dick King. That is, what a fucking legend that dude would be.
You know what movie I always got confused with Babe was Charlotte's
Babe?
Web. And The Babe as well.
Babe, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know heading into this that Babe and Babe Pig in the City were two different names, two different movies.
Yeah, no, famously, he ended up going to the city.
Okay.
But
I think
not
maybe
this
that's
one.
the one that I liked.
Really? That sounds like that's like a speed cruise control thing.
I'm sure it's bad. I mean, the original was terrible. The second one couldn't have been that great.
Okay, so my biggest takeaway from this movie is it does a lot of, for lack of a better term, virtue signaling the film, where it says, like, all these animals and all these people don't appreciate pigs. They think that pigs aren't good for nothing and they can't shine on their own. And I'm like, well, you had to make one talk in order for you to want to make a movie about one. So clearly you don't think pigs are that cool either.
That's true. It's a good point. Like,
the movie pats itself on the back so much. Like, a cat will come in and be like, I'm a cat. I don't appreciate pigs. You're good for nothing, you stupid pig. And you're supposed to be like, well, thank you, movie, for righting this wrong and giving this pig its due.
Well, and on that note, it's like, well, if the stereotype is that pigs are useless and stupid or whatever, you're playing into the stereotype that cats are mean.
Yes, and pigs aren't useless or stupid. The movie Babe is useless and stupid. That's the big difference. I guess a summary of Babe is Babe is a pig and he's in a guess the weight contest, and the farmer. I had to definitely strengthen this with a Wikipedia read because I had a tough time paying attention.
Yeah.
A farmer gets the pig, says that'll do a bunch of times, and I guess we were all very horned up over that. It wasn't hitting at all for me. By the way. When he said it, I was like, heard you the first time. Get more lines. Stop pulling guns on the pig, please.
Pig with guns.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He takes... Nicolas Cage walks in with a gun. I'm looking for my pig, please. That'd be way better. But he takes this pig to his farm where the pig identifies as a sheep, likes the sheep, likes the dogs. The dogs kind of take.
He's just looking for a. He's looking for a
community
home.
and family and everything, and he fits in with them. There's a bunch of stuff that goes on where some animals come in. I think it's dogs come in and attack the sheep. So the farmer's and the babe is there and rescues them.
Yeah, but he has got some blood on his his
the
person.
Farmer shows up, sees some blood, and is like, a moment I've been
waiting
for.
Which is the stupidest.
Shoot this pig.
This guy lives on a farm and it makes a career out of taking care of animals. He stumbles upon a very kind-hearted pig that he's had no problems with to this point in the movie, and just assumes that the pig brutally murdered one of the sheep.
Yeah. You know who's a real fucker is who are the dogs? So Fly's the good one.
Mm-hmm.
Rex is abusive.
He's a real he's quite problematic.
So are Fly and Rex married, or are they just partners?
I would say that they're partners.
Okay.
I believe that they have a business relationship.
It's a bit transactional.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that if this movie were more focused on those two, it would be better.
Yeah.
Because if it were about anything else, it would be better. But I think that we would find there's some probably on-off again nature to that relationship.
Yeah, and they've got a complicated history.
Yeah.
As we do find out about Rex's story, which didn't really care.
Yeah. It wasn't that I hated Rex. It was that I hated the movie.
And Rex was a part of it.
And Rex was in it, so kind of guilty by association. But I really didn't like this movie. At the end, he goes, Babe is part of a sheep herding contest. Yeah. And he shows up, and sheep herding contest apparently is supposed to be a bunch of dogs. So all the people are there wearing their Sunday best, and they see a pig show up to it, and the whole audience is mocking,
nasty,
booing the pig, really mercilessly laughing at the pig. And I was like, would they care?
No. I think they'd be like, I want to see what happens here.
I think maybe you'd be like, yo, what kind of operation is this? Why is there a pig here? But they were mean to the pig. They were like, fuck you, pig, stupid fucking pig. And then something happens where the pig just runs across the field or something. And they're like, okay, the pig wins, and they get up and they cheer, and that's the end of the movie.
Well, the Rex tells Babe the secret code or something to get the sheep to listen to him.
Yeah.
And so he just tells the sheep what to do and where to go, and he asks them nicely, and they just listen to him.
Was there a reboot of Babe recently, within the last 10 years?
I don't think so.
Let me see. Let's see what the
sequels
sequels are.
I don't even know that. I think it was more like a animated movie.
Not to my
knowledge. I don't think so.
Ooh, by the way, Babe Pig in the City, per Wikipedia, I can't believe Wikipedia would even use this terminology, was a hyperlinked box office bomb.
Oh, no.
Grossing only $69.5 million on a $90 million budget. It cost you $90 million to make another Babe movie?
I mean,
you got some pigs running around and then talk over it.
What's the budget for the first pig? Because you gotta think that back in this day it was expensive to animate do the CGI for the animals.
Budget was $30 million.
Oh shit! They tripled the budget.
Well, made a cool $254.
Damn.
Yeah.
This movie was
This
movie smoked the box office and the critics.
You know what the real Dick King was? It was Babe.
Holy
just
shit.
Marching around like
that
a
is
Dick King.
That is stunning. I think that might be the most stunningly reviewed movie that we've done so far on Tomato Fights.
You know what the most stunning thing about this entire movie is, though?
What?
That the farmer has a fax machine.
That's true.
There's a scene where he's writing, and I'm like, oh, the farmer has nice handwriting.
I believe that is a Christmas gift.
The fax machine is?
Yeah.
Interesting. No, it's not. I gotta stop using the word interesting.
It's not interesting.
I really didn't like this movie. I thought that Bull Durham, not
smoked
a 97,
this.
but this is this is I'll let you give it a 63 because you could say it's for the kids and they see
It's
it
not,
big running
though.
around and everything. But it's like, okay, you just got to be prepared to see some like. I saw Paid in Full recently. That you got to be prepared for the murder game because the farmer is all about that.
Yeah, I mean,
was there murder in this movie?
He doesn't do it. He like
they kill the duck.
Yes, right. But he pulls the gun on Babe. Is about to put it down. Like it's some real like.
This is where children develop anxiety.
Yes,
it's like some real like Tuco with like Jesse and Walt, where it's like it's gotten so far. There's no way these people survived this.
Yeah.
And somehow they ended up surviving it. Like that's how Babe kind of got.
They kill the duck. The mother sheep dies. And I believe those are the 2 deaths. There are 2 murders.
I can't believe they don't put down Rex.
Rex after he bites the
Rex
farmer.
Bites the farmer.
Yeah, it's wild that they don't. But he's also like makes the farmer money by slinging that. Oh wait, but
those fax machines.
He doesn't. He doesn't after that though because they have him neutered.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So, 3rd murder, Rex's balls.
Damn.
R.I.P. Yeah.
R.I.P. to the former Dick King.
Yeah. Rex was the true Dick King. Okay. Can you tell us about the Babe?
Yeah. There's that movie. Like I said, that movie should have just been called like Fat Piece of Shit. It was about Babe Ruth just being a fat piece of shit. He was terrible to his wife Helen. He was terrible to his teammates.
Is he terrible to his wife in that movie?
Oh my god, yeah. He was basically he sexually assaulted her.
Oh my
what?
God.
Well, yeah. So they're in a boat, and it's when like
that's about the implication.
It's their first date, and they're on a boat, and he's like, "Why don't you come over here and kiss me?" And she was like, "I'm saving that for marriage." And then he said, "Well, there's like a spider on your hat." And she's like, "Oh my God, can you get it?" And then like he leans in and forces himself on her to kiss her. That's assault, brother.
That is very much very much Dennis energy. The implication.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
first date on the boat. That guy knows what he's up to.
Crazy though, like all those old movies though. It's like, can I give you a smooch?
Yeah.
Oh, not tonight. And then they're like, it will be tonight. But then they just play like a nice like romantic song or whatever, and he like tap dances over to her, and it's like she said no.
Yeah.
You have to wait for her to say I've changed my mind, and
Yeah.
she's not going to say that.
You know who did that in a very tasteful manner?
Who?
Mamma Mia, here we go again.
Oh right, Bill.
Yes.
Yeah, Bill on the boat.
Yes.
But that was
again on the boat, and she said no.
Bill
and he was like, okay.
Leaned big time into the implication. That was like there was a very well shot scene. But I was like, everyone's having too good a time with this right now. Although she doesn't kiss him on the boat.
That's right. She's only on land.
She doesn't kiss him then. She just sings a song with him. She sings Why Did It Have to Be Me? And then they happen upon the guy that is looking for...
drowning, yes.
The drowning man, who is... You've seen Mamma Mia too, I'm sure. Who is looking for Apollonia.
Yeah.
And... Then they don't do anything. They jump into the water and they save him. And then she fucks him on the boat a few days later. Everybody wins.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Like
Feel good story.
Including her, because young Bill
hot
had it going on.
Okay, go on with the Babe.
King, if you will.
So he sexually assaults his future wife.
Oh no.
And then he is married to her. And there's a scene where they're living together now, and he's like, "Yeah, like why don't you like go out on the town with me? Like I like have a dance and a steak and this and that." And she's like, "You're a married man now. Like you don't need to like go out and like for a cigar and a steak and a drink." She's like, "It's almost midnight." He's like, "That's when people go out. They usually go out at like midnight." And then she's like, "Well, you're married now." And he's like, "You know what?" And then he just like walks out the door. He's like, "I have a craving, and like you need to understand. Like I have a craving." And then he goes out to this bar and he's like dancing around with different girls, which to me, symbolism. I mean, that's a metaphor for he was having sex. He was having
Takes two to tango.
Yeah,
as they say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. In Ray, when every time he like puts his hand on a girl's hand or whatever, they're like, that's supposed to tell you like he was being unfaithful. So just like every time he sees a girl and is like grabs her hand or something, it's like, just say it. He fucked that girl.
Yeah, and that was the Babe. And it's how
That was the
that was
the
it.
movie.
And that was it. It's just he was a sexual deviant and an alcoholic and just a terrible
Wait,
person.
so who plays Babe Ruth? It's not John Goodman.
It is.
Are you sure? I thought it was
That's the cop from The Departed.
John Goodman plays a guy named George Herman Ruth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of is it The Sandlot with the guy who plays Babe Ruth is a different guy.
You guys are gonna kill me. This is the most
You've never seen
weirdest
Sandlot?
thing about me, and I've got a lot of weird things about me. I've never seen the Sandlot.
Sandlot rocks.
You guys see Sandlot.
It's a great movie.
What year did it come out?
96.
Yeah.
So there's kind of no excuses that I wouldn't have seen.
It was
that.
like, still hot in the streets.
Yeah. You could watch it now and like talk about it, and people would give you street cred for it. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Another great baseball movie, 61.
That's a Maris movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Good
I haven't
movie.
seen 61. I haven't seen 42. I haven't seen any of the number named.
You gotta.
Have you seen 7?
You gotta watch 61. That's
It's
probably
not
like,
about Mickey Mantle, but it's a
I've
good
seen
movie.
21
Okay.
with that also involves a deviant.
Kevin Spacey.
Stars Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's going to be much mystery surrounding where we land here.
Yeah, we generally go around and have like a kind of unofficial vote, and like ultimately doesn't matter which movie wins, but in a case like this, I think there's like a strong takeaway that
Yes, this is like a blowing out of the water victory for Babe.
yeah. Yeah, Babe.
It's a great flick.
Babe just wasn't it for me at all. Bull Durham in a landslide. And again, even Bull Durham, I think, is 97 is outrageously high for it. But
Very, very generous.
between Bull Durham and The Babe, what would you say is better?
Bull Durham for sure. Yeah, it's a classic. The Babe, it's like if you're gonna watch, if you want to get like an idea of how much of a piece of shit Babe Ruth was, and you can go watch The Babe. But if you want like a good baseball movie, you'd watch Bull Durham.
Clean sweep for Bull Durham in the first ever 3-way tomato fight.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, this is the first time we've done 3 people in the same place, too.
That's
We've
true.
Never done it in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is fucking weird. Again, we were just like looking at each other in the mirror, but fuck. Yeah, Jared, thanks for doing this, man.
Hey, thanks for
fucking
having me.
Face of baseball.
Wow.
Don't fucking forget it.
Yeah.
Baseball stinks.
Next time we'll do 2 more baseball movies.
Wait, you thinking 2 more baseball movies?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit of a seam head myself.
Yeah.